Alright, so I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on with Revit. The main issue is that surfaces in Rhino that are created like this are actually clipped. So you can see that if you pick the surface and you left click on the control points. What Rhino does is it takes a full surface and it trims it. So this is called a trimmed surface, and the rest of that surface is actually still there, but it's just hidden from you based on this trim. And so when it gets into Revit, Revit has a hard time, I think, making a wall from surface out of that. Oh, sorry, wall by face out of that. So I figured out a little bit of a hack, so you're going to have to decide if you want to do this or not. So let me go to File, and let's open. Right, and let's go to desktop. And I just took the curves, your file with the curves, so here they are. Right, so the horizontal and the vertical curves. And I've only tried this with the vertical curves, but what I'm going to do is turn off the horizontal curves. We're going to concentrate on the walls. I'm going to create a new layer. And what I'm going to do is rebuild these so they it dumbs down the Rhino geometry. So basically what I'm going to do is pick all these and explode them, and then I'm going to go into my right view and I'm going to pick all the straight lines, right, and I'll come and get sort of shift select the little ones that are left over, right? So we got a few in here. Ding, 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 ding. I think there's one random one in there that I keep missing, but I'm not sure. I think I may have gotten them all, but I'm just going to change them to this layer 1. So change object layer, and let's turn those guys off. And I think, yeah, oh, there's one. So I need to get that one and change it, because when I rebuild these, I don't want him to rebuild these flat ones. I just want these to have 2 points. So anyway, change object layer. All right, so now what I'm going to do, now that I got that done, I'm just going to come in and join all these again. So they're all one, right? Individual. And then I'm going to pick all the long ones, so the big curves, like all those curves, and I'm going to rebuild them. And I'm going to rebuild them to 50. And click OK. Right, and so you'll see that it kind of spaces out everything equally. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to get the smaller curves, so these guys, right, and then hold down the shift key and I'll get, whoop. Let's get those guys, right, and those guys, and then this guy. And then I'll rebuild these guys. And I'm just going to take those down to 10, right, and click OK. Alright, so now they're just a little bit more spaced. And then I just turn these guys back on, pick all those and join them, right, and maybe I like them on the red layer, so I'll make them on. Alright, so now we've got those. Now one other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick these guys, and I'm going to go to File, Export Selected, and I'm going to export them as an AutoCAD file, right? So a DWG, and under Options, you can go to, I think 2007. I'm using 2007 just to get it as dumb as I possibly can. I think you could probably use R12 lines and arcs and it would be fine, but I'm going to the 2007 lines under the pull down, and I'm editing the schemes. I'm going to the curves and I'm changing the arcs to arcs, so they're not lines. Close that. Click OK, and then let's go right and give it 2007 wall curves. Whoops. Wall curves. All right. And then click OK and it exports that. Now I open up AutoCAD, because AutoCAD has a region command that apparently works differently than the Rhino one. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up, right, that file here in this, right, I'll go to 3D view so you can see it. There's this guy, right? And so what it does when it exports it, it actually changes any NURBS or splines into separate lines and arcs, so it kind of retranslates it, which is fine. So I'm going to go to join here, join all these guys together, so now they're back, and you can see it's kind of redistributed some of those points, but you know, you do the best you can and then you move on. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to region all these. So if I go to region, you can select all these guys and hit enter, and AutoCAD comes in, and if I shade it, you have basically a similar thing that you have in Rhino, but I think the math is different because, okay, I'm going to scale these because they're going to come in really small in Revit if I don't. So I'm just going to scale these by 25 just so we have something bigger, because I'm not sure how big you want these guys. Then I'm going to export an SAT from here, right? So I'll just name it 2000 wall curves SAT. Select save, select what I want to export, minimize this, and then I go to Revit. Oops, and let's just close these guys down. Close, no, close, no. Start from scratch, go to a new family, and I'm going to use the conceptual mass. You can use the mass RFT. I'm using this one. I'll click open, and then I'm going to go to insert, import CAD. I'm going to go get the thing I just made, right? And it plunks that in. Then I'm going to go to file, new project, start from an architecture template, go back to my conceptual mass, load into project, place that into the project, close that, 3D, wall by face, right? Now, for some reason, and I haven't gone in to spend any time on it, but it's yelling at me because of the thing is slightly off, each one of these. But you can see it's working. Sorry for the bonging. It's my error. But you can see that it's working fine. So except for this one, which I think we could probably figure out and get it to work. But if I pick that, I can obviously go to my exterior brick on CMU. And then if I go to my level 1 and change that to medium, right, you're getting the wall types, and windows should work, you know, everything should work. Okay, so that's it. I haven't tried the flat ones yet, but I think you may have to use roof, but we'll have to see. Anyway, let me know if you want to keep using that, and I will be happy to help you. All right.